Welcome in, guys, and today we'll be talking about the future of the Raiders, Derek Carr's future with the team, and how this team could get back going. Because, of course, we want to fire Josh McDaniels, but it's not going to happen. They said it's not going to happen. Mark Davis came out and supported the fact that he basically said Rome wasn't built in a day, and the 2-7 start is not bad at all, which totally disagree with. But hey, that's the owner, and he runs the team, so McDaniel's gonna stay. But the reason he should get fired because he blown 3 17-point leads already, and that's just unacceptable for a franchise that has made the playoffs, I believe, twice in the last like 20 plus years, which is not good at all. So a slow start is not deserved, especially after the 10-7 end of the season last year with the playoff appearance and almost beating the Bengals. I just think Josh McDaniels is not a head coach in this league, and he's one of the best offensive coordinators, but that's it. You've seen it with the Broncos and now with the Raiders. He's just not a leader of men, and that's what you need in the NFL locker room, a guy that you could bring in, and the players, that's our coach. Bring him in. We go behind this guy. We ball out for him and everything, and you can see on the field they're not doing that right now with Josh McDaniels, and I think it's best for the Raiders to let him go, but obviously we're not getting that after the comments by Mark Davis throughout the week supporting him. And now you have key players like Devontae Adams and Carr coming out supporting him, which, what they're going to do, they're not going to talk bad. That's not the guys that typically talk bad about their team, this and that. Carr did come emotional last week after the game, but, they're all in support of Josh McDaniels, and what you can do, you're not going to talk bad about the guy and then go out there and play for him. They're not those type of players. But to me, he should be fired. He has a horrible record as a head coach, and he just doesn't fit as a head coach role. Some coaches are just meant to be coordinators and not head coaches. But what you're going to do, I believe, Derek Carr will be the scapegoat after this year, and they'll let him go and either draft someone or it'll be good to get Lamar Jackson since he's a free agent, but I believe the Ravens would franchise tag him or possibly sign and trade, something like that with Derek Carr and Darren Waller getting traded or something. Hopefully something like that, but this team can't let go of Derek Carr and draft someone. This team is in win now mode, and simply it won't make sense if you draft a young quarterback and bring in back the core guys and expect to win. Like, this team is built to win now, not in the future, not a rebuild. It's born and bred it to win now. But with that being said, we're going to move into the Week 11 slate of games. Last night, the Packers lost to the Titans, and, I believe the Packers season is officially over after last night. I do believe a 10-7 record does get you in the playoffs, which was the 7th loss yesterday, but that's not saying that they can't make it. I'm just saying what I've seen throughout the whole year from the Packers. Inconsistency. They've been playing better the last couple weeks, but their season's over. I don't see them beating the Eagles, and they have to. I believe the last week they have to play the Vikings, and I just don't see that happening. But let's move in with the first game. We're gonna talk about the Falcons and Bears, and this division in the South for the NFC is still up for grabs, but I believe the Buccaneers will take it. But in this game, I got the Falcons winning slight 21-20 over the Bears. And the snow game, the snow game, they moved to, I believe, Minnesota, the Browns and Bills. Got Bills taking it right there. But it could get interesting because, throwing that ball and everything in the snow was not going to happen at all. But now, since it's moved, I believe, indoors, I believe the Bills just got even a more advantage, because if it would have been the snow, they have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and the Browns, and they could have, made that game messy. But now, indoors, throwing environment, and the Bills just have a better team. Then we have the Eagles and Colts, which could be a little interesting too, because the Eagles' run defense is not as good. The Colts have a great running back in Jonathan Taylor that went off last week on my Raiders, and it could be interesting to see if they can't stop that run, and the Colts could make it interesting. They're riding behind that Jeff Saturday Mojo, and all that. So we could see an interesting game there. And next we have the Jets and the Pats, another key AFC East team. I believe both teams need this win to stay within the grasp of the division. I believe this division could have all 4 teams in the playoffs, but to win it, this is the key game. I think both must wins to stay in the title race for the AFC East for these 2 teams. But I just have the Jets coming on top. I think their defense can play better. I think the offense is clicking, and I just think the Pats offense is not all there, receiver wise. They could run the ball, they can make it interesting. I have it close, but I got the Jets in this one. And then we have the Rams and Saints, and I do believe Matthew Stafford is going to play in this game, so I give the advantage closely to the Rams, but it'll be a tight one, another like 24-20 game, but I got the Rams in this one. Then we got the Lions and Giants. As much as I want to say the Lions improved and everything, they just have to find the edge to win these type of games, but I got the Giants here. I just think the Lions will make it interesting, but they'll end up doing Lion things and end up losing. So then we have the Panthers and Ravens, which Baker Mayfield will be back, but I got the Ravens. My guy, Lamar Jackson, about to go for 100 yards, probably 200 in the air against the Carolina Panthers, but I got the Ravens winning this one. Then we have the Commanders versus the Texans. The way if the Commanders defense stays like this and the rush attack stays like they did on the win against the Eagles last week, I believe the Eagles just couldn't stop the run. That's why they lost. And if they run the ball like this and play defense, the Commanders will win this game over the Texans. Then we got my Broncos and Raiders. Always a tricky game. These 2 teams were supposed to be one of the top dogs in the AFC, but now they don't even have winning records in the AFC West or overall. But, I have to go with my Raiders. I believe what Derek Carr and Devontae Adams said, backing up their coach, Josh McDaniels, I think that's going to help the team come in and everything. And this is it right here. They have 7 losses. They lose any other game the rest of the season, they're done. So hopefully they could come out, establish the run, make it easy on Derek Carr, play action, and hopefully the defense gives us something. And I hope they really win. I don't think this is a flip a coin game with the Broncos and Raiders, but I got my Raiders. Then we got the big matchup of Week 11, which is the Cowboys and the Vikings. Cowboys didn't play as sound in the second half as they did the first half last week against the Packers, but with the running backs, they ran the ball good. You see CeeDee Lamb break out a little bit, but I just think Dalvin Cook's going to be too much in that backfield. Even Madison might be back there too. So I think the Vikings have the edge because the Cowboys can't stop a cold man in the run game. I got Kirk Cousins doing good. Jefferson's balling out, and I think Adam Thielen's going to have a surprising good game because they might double down on Jefferson, and the run game might open up. And Thielen, be careful, man. Good start for fantasy this week. So got the Vikings on this one. Another, I believe, 17-27 game, and the offense of the Cowboys hasn't looked good. So got there. Then we got the Bengals and Steelers. Got the Bengals. I just think the offense of the Steelers is not that good, and the Bengals are clicking right now. Even though Chase is out, I just have them clicking all cylinders. Then the nightcap of Sunday night will be the Chiefs and Chargers, which is always a good game to watch. But somehow I'm going to go with the Chargers here because I believe Justin Herbert, he's been struggling the last couple weeks. But I think this game, he always does good against the Chargers, and I think he still has a little revenge on him from the Week 2 loss to the Chiefs. So I got the Chargers this one in kind of an upset. I don't see it as upset, but people might look at it that way. Then I have the 49ers against the Cardinals Monday night, Mexico City and Azteca Stadium.